Hey everybody, it's Maggie Mulhern. I am here with Sophie Sadat Kadapchi. Did I say that right?
Yes, pretty much.
Oh,
Good
yeah,
job.
you know what? We've been rehearsing that one. We are here in our sunflower garden because we wanted to talk to Sophie about open casting calls at the big model agencies in New York. Sophie was in charge. She's no longer doing it, but she was with one of the biggest model agencies where she would run the open casting calls where girls would come in hopes of getting with your agency. And our topic today is going to be what to expect at those open casting calls. So, Sophie, why don't we just start with how many girls would show up on a typical casting?
You know, it really varied from week to week. Some weeks you could have a handful of girls that wouldn't take up the whole hour, and maybe the next week you would have a line kind of waiting down the hallway. So it really varied from week to week. Just guess who decided to come in that day.
Yeah, and it's the way you would find out about it is just about every agency has it on a
Yes.
site, and
Yes.
it was
Could be a Tuesday or a Wednesday, maybe 5 o'clock for an hour that they set aside literally for walk-ins to come and try their luck.
okay. So, if a model is coming to one of these, what should she bring with her?
I would recommend that a model brings a handful, a couple of photos of herself. They could be taken at home. No need for any professional photos. Just having your parents or friends take photos is great. Just a couple of really great photos that show what you might look like on camera. You could also bring a pair of heels just in case an agent asks you to walk up and down. Keep those in your bag. But
And why would an agent ask you to walk?
An agent might see you and might want to know how you move, how you walk, and see if you kind of have the look or have the walk that might work on a runway if that's something that they're looking for.
And that's with the bigger agencies, there are divisions. You have the runway division and the print division.
Mm-hmm.
So you may see a model who you're thinking, oh, she might be great for runway. Let's just see if she can walk.
Exactly.
Traditionally, how old are these models that come to see you at the open casting?
A lot of models that come to the open castings are definitely young, maybe middle school, high school age, young teenagers, but they really do vary. You might one off get somebody who's in their 20s, 30s, or beyond that just always thought that they might want to try out modeling and they show up to see if.
Now, for the younger girls, this is something I have a lot of concern about this.
Yeah.
If she is under, say, 15, how do you feel about her walking in with a mom or a guardian?
I think it's great when someone comes with a mom or a guardian. You know, you need somebody there with you when you're that young to obviously get you into the casting call, and it's great to have that support there. I'm sure that you see this all the time on set at photo shoots.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked me because, yes, it's when I work with a model who is, say, 16 or younger, I actually am concerned if there isn't a parent or a guardian there with her. Now, I don't want the mom or whoever to get involved. I love it when the mom comes in and just sits in the corner reading a book and not get involved. But I'm a mom, and I wouldn't let my 14-year-old daughter or 12-year-old daughter go on a photo shoot alone.
Right.
So it's the same at a casting?
Exactly. You want to know that the support system's there. You don't need the mother or the father, whoever, to be engaged, but just that support system's there and that there's somebody that's going to be able to bring them around to different calls in case you were to work something out.
Okay, so let's talk about what she should wear to the casting.
I technically think that simple is better. I wouldn't get super dolled up or come wearing something that's a very specific look. You should come pretty simple, something that reflects your personal style and something that just kind of shows who you are, but not too over the board. Something that's simple so that when somebody looks at you, they could see where you might fit in if there's something.
How about makeup?
Makeup goes simple as well. So many young girls wear makeup these days, but keep it simple. A little blush, maybe some mascara, nothing too over the top because as an agent, we really want to see, what your face looks like.
Well, I know it's very concerning for me if a model comes into a casting and she's got false eyelashes on and her hair is all blown out. I'm like, what is she hiding?
Yeah,
I'm sure it's
underneath. Exactly.
yeah, and that's again the same in pictures that you want the pictures to be almost as natural as possible so that you can be the one to say, all right, I'm going to enhance her that way.
Exactly, so that they can see how you might be in different kind of circumstances.
Okay, so now let's talk about how much time would you spend typically with a model?
Can be very quick. Just really a couple of minutes. You know as soon as you meet someone whether you can see any potential, whether that potential, like you said before, is for print, for runway, or what sort of area or division that's for. You know within a matter of seconds. But of course, you're going to spend a minute just talking to them, figuring out, who they are, where they come from, maybe looking at their pictures. But it can literally just be a matter of minutes that an agent might spend with one girl. And especially when there's a long line, these open calls are about an hour. There's not much time.
Okay, so let's say the most perfect model comes in and she is 5'10" and size 2 and absolutely stunningly beautiful, and you don't take her. Why would that be?
And actually, this happens quite often. What happens is that modeling agencies might have a number of models on their roster already in their books that have one kind of a look. Maybe they have 10 models that have a classic American look, and a classic American girl walks in. They don't need another classic American girl on the roster. Maybe they're looking for something more exotic, or vice versa. They're looking for something classic. So very often a modeling agency is looking for something very specific, and they might not choose to engage with a girl just because she's not what they're looking for. That doesn't mean it shouldn't be discouraging to the girl. The girl should maybe try and contact other agencies, because you never know what an agency is looking for.
Yeah, and that's actually something that everyone should know, that if you don't get the job, it's not because, oh, I'm not beautiful. It's because
Exactly.
it's they don't need me at this time.
Right.
Okay, so I know I only have you for 2 more minutes, and I just want to go over some of the important things. I've had people say to me, I want to be an eye model. Does anybody ever come to a casting call and say that to you, or I want to be a hand model?
There are very specific agencies and places for hand models and foot models, etc. But when you come to, a big agency in a large city, they're usually looking for something that's a whole package, whether it is for, doing designer runways or for doing something commercial like a catalog. It's hard to just have beautiful eyes. I think we were just talking about this earlier, how sometimes a girl can have just beautiful eyes, but there's a girl who has just as beautiful eyes as her but kind of has the whole package. It's really hard to book someone or take someone based on one feature when there's so many beautiful girls out.
That have everything plus the height. And that's my last question to you. Do you have to be 5'10" and size 2?
A lot of runway models are 5'10" and size 2. That's traditional. That's the way that the clothes work. That's what the designers are asking for. So if you're talking in terms of runway, that's a very specific frame and height, etc. But there's lots of other opportunities for models that might be shorter, that might be 5'7" or 5'8". There's a lot of catalog work, print work, commercial work. So definitely there's a standard for the runway, but there's room for models that are on the shorter side as well.
And let's talk about some of the famous models who have made it, who are shorter.
We have Kate Moss, she's 5'7", Letitia Casta with Victoria's Secret, who's also on the shorter side. Lots of very successful models that are shorter.
Yeah, and just so you know, from me, for the models that I cast, because I traditionally just do beauty, I don't care. You can be 5'2", you can have 50-inch hips, as long as you're willing to do something to your hair, the face, and you're willing to do something to your hair.
Yes.
And so any messages or any shout-outs to the girls out there who are looking to get into this?
I would just say that keep an open mind, come prepared, like we said, come to the open call, but just go in with a really good outlook and see what happens.
Yep. And so from Sophie and Maggie Mulhern, we wish you the best of luck. Good luck in the modeling world, and thanks a lot for this time, Sophie.
Thank you, Maggie.
Okay, we'll see
Thank
you.
you. Good luck.